Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show. If you like The Mike Wagner Show and you want to make your own podcast, well, let me tell you about Anchor. First of all, it's free. Secondly, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. You can also add any song from Spotify directly to your episodes. The possibilities are endless. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you. You can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, many more. You can also make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. So download the free Anchor app or go to Anchor FM to get started.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios.
Hi, this is Mia Mosensia, also known as Mia No Time for Love. Check out my latest book, Missing, available in print and ebook formats on Amazon.
It's now time for the Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, YouTube, iTunes, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Mike brings you great guests and interesting people from all across the globe. So sit back, relax, and enjoy another great episode of the Mike Wagner Show.
Hey everybody, it's Mike from The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Mosensia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Mosensia has garnered great reviews and even been endorsed by Hollywood celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for Goes Missing by Mia Mosensia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show on over 30 podcast platforms and the MikeWagnerShow.com, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music, and more as well. Take the Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show t-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, all kinds of great gifts, 24/7, 365 for your family, friends, and loved ones. Also, check out the Me and Mosensia store on Amazon for great merchandise, t-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, a lot more, and great gifts for your loved ones. Also, check out Missing, Once, and Wrinkles, Amazon.com/Me and Mosensia. And also, don't forget to support us on Anchor FM along with PayPal and the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you donate generously today. We're here with a terrific lady who's a highly regarded writer, actress, and director, as well as filmmaker. And her husband, Matt Ford, formed Abhorrent Behavior Productions. And we're going to find out the meaning behind the name. But don't let that fool you. They've produced dozens of award-winning short films, web series, music videos, and more as well, to feature films they've been doing since 2017. And the latest movie features a number of amazing actors like Anthony Goes, Maya Reeve, Jack Herhol, and more. And this is about a story that's taking place as well, too. And they've also done Happy Birthday, Ray, Hemorrhage, Key Question, and we're going to talk about the latest movie that's out right now and says 10 times fast, okay? If you say it 10 times fast, I'm sure we'll give you a little something. It's Boreala Borealis, so say it 10 times fast before we proceed. Live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown Los Angeles, the amazing, multi-talented writer, actress, director, and filmmaker of Boreala Borealis. I'll say it fast later. Kathryne Easton. Kathryne, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, Mike. I'm just delighted.
Well, we're delighted to have you on as well, too. And checking out what you got. You're highly regarded. You're a writer, actress, also director and filmmaker. And you formed Abhorrent Behavior with your husband, Matt Ford. And don't let that fool you, guys. They produce dozens of award-winning films, music videos, and shorts, web series, and everything. We'll talk about those. And the latest Boreala Borealis is out right now. And they just wrapped up another project. Also talk about Happy Birthday, Ray, Hemorrhage, Key Question, and a lot more, and all the great works. And before getting to all that, Kathryne, tell us how you got started.
My goodness. Well, I think I got started because of The Little Mermaid.
Did you say Borealis too many times before getting caught by that big fish or that big bad king or something?
Exactly. I didn't know what that was back then. But yeah, I think that's where it started for me, is singing and Disney movies and stuff. And then it sort of took off from there. I ended up going to musical theater school and going to acting school in New York City and studied with a lot of really wonderful people. And that eventually took me out to Los Angeles because my real passion at the end of the day was filmmaking. And I just wanted to be in the land where that all happened.
Mm-hmm. That's so amazing. And what was that one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your life?
Ooh, probably the Goonies. The Goonies.
Oh my
god.
gosh.
The Goonies. Yeah. Yeah.
Can they say Borealis 10 times fast? It's like,
I bet they could.
Yeah. It's like, give them water and allow them to go to the refrigerator at midnight. Then they'll be Santa. And then they get tongue twisted and go like that.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like, it's Borrelia. So like, it's like, if you think of like Aurora Borealis, Aurelia, Princess Aurelia, right? That's a Disney thing. So it's Borrelia. So it's a little easier. So that's how it sounds like a flower to me. Borrelia. It just sounds so pretty. But the Goonies is exactly where it started for me. That's when I was like, oh, I want to make movies. I want to do movies like, I want to make movies like this. I love filmmaking in general. And it just sort of started a love affair for me. So I became a cinephile. In my teens. Yeah.
That's rather interesting. And speaking of movies, besides The Little Mermaid and Goonies, what are some of your other favorite movies growing up?
I really, really love have you ever seen the movie Prisoners? It's by the director who just directed Dune, Denis Villeneuve. It's also Sicario. I love crime thrillers, which is hilarious because the first movie that I made was a love story. The second movie I made was a crime thriller. But I love all movies. I love Shakespeare in Love. I do love Titanic also. Huge Leonardo DiCaprio fan. And I also really dig the old school stuff. I am a big, big fan of the director Alan Pakula, who directed Clute, and All the President's Men. And I think we just have a lot to learn from those kind of movies cinematically.
All the President's Men, I remember watching a movie even when I was young. It's like I picked up right away. I says, that was an amazing movie. It was that and also The Paper Chase. And I think those are like the first two serious movies I watched.
So good.
I was more into cartoons and everything else. Those are the first two serious movies I watched was All the President's Men and The Paper Chase. And that's what led me down the path of like just expanding. I mean, amazing.
Exactly. And Stanley Kubrick, I'm really, I love The Shining. I love 2001. I really actually like studying, filmmakers in general, people who and studying their whole body of work. Like right now I'm really into Mike Flanagan, who directed Midnight Mass, which is on Netflix, which is sort of like a 7-hour movie. It's a cinematic 7-hour movie. I mean, it's technically a limited series, but that's what we're doing with TV now, right? With these little limited series where you can make a longer kind of movie, but it's technically a series. So
almost like binge watching in a way too, bit by bit, but then just string together.
Exactly. I just think it's really fascinating to see where people start and then where they end up. Especially as they get more funding, you make your first couple of independent films and you see Mike Flanagan's stuff and you're like, wow, it's so amazing to see what this guy did with no money. And then once he ended up getting money and funded by, studios and Netflix and whatnot, you're just like, man, that's the dream, right?
and of course, they're all like, I want to be like this guy. So
yes, exactly. Exactly. I want to be like Mike Flanagan.
A very good role model. It's like, you don't have to have money. It's like, have the money come to you. It's like, I like that approach much, much better.
100%. The next one, the money's coming to me, baby.
There you go. We'll see to it for sure. And going back to Stanley Kubrick, you talk about some of his movies. What are your thoughts on Clockwork Orange?
Ooh, when I watched it in my 20s, I didn't like it. I didn't understand it. I was in my early 20s and I was really just mortified by it. I think it scared me and I was just the subject matter and I didn't understand a lot of the metaphor that was happening there. And then I actually rewatched it during the pandemic year. And I was floored by it, just what they do with the cinematography and how they're able to visually tell that story. And the metaphors to me really, really came through. I'd never read the book. But I loved it the second time around. I just don't think I was mature enough to understand it when I watched it the first time.
I think a lot of things like that too. It's just like, as youngsters, like you like to look at just for pictures, but then when you grow up, you start understanding more of the words. And then some films as well too, you watch like so many different times and you get like so many different meanings as time goes 100%. On. A good example is the Truman Show. It's like you pick up one theme and then you watch it again. You get another theme. You watch again. You get another theme, and you get a theme of a theme of a theme of a theme, and then another theme of a theme of the theme of the theme. So it's like it's those type of movies which I'm fascinated by. It's like you pick up something different every single time.
Oh my gosh. And look at how like the Truman Show has aged as well. That came out, I think, in 98 or 99, like right before crazy computer stuff, social media, like it's so fast, and reality TV, and the way that because we're all voyeurs now, we all go on social media and we look at other people's lives that we don't even know. And that's normal, but that's kind of weird. If you told someone that 20 years ago, that's what life is going to be like now, that's weird. That's so weird.
And of course too, when I watched it the first time, you had that front Fresnel light, drop down. It's like I thought, hey, it must have been like Alien. Second time, a UFO. A third time, what's this camera light doing here? And then a fourth time, it's like, I guess somebody dropped a part from Ford or something, or from a plane, kind of like a joke or something.
Exactly. It's a feeling too. Like that's the thing about cinema is I think that we can talk about all of the things that we love about it and specific things, but there's also this intangible thing where it's like a feeling in your gut and your soul when you watch something that resonates with you, and you can't even put it into words. It's when the music swells and a character realizes something or whatnot. And it's that feeling, I think that human feeling of like, oh, like I'm not alone. Like someone else has felt this feeling before. And that's I think the thing that I love the most about it is being able to create a space like that for people, hopefully when they watch my movies.
And that's an amazing thing as well too. And, also besides some of the, directors we mentioned as well too, who are some of other favorite directors growing up?
Oh, growing up. I mean, I'm just going to say it. Do you know Tamara Jenkins?
I've heard, yes.
Slums of Beverly Hills. So, she was, I would say she was I found her in my teens, because, up until Tamara Jenkins, I don't think I was probably 15 or 16 years old when I found her. I didn't realize women could be directors. How sad is that? I didn't get it. Of course I love, Steven Spielberg and all of James Cameron and the classics like that. And as I mentioned, Alan Pakula and Stanley Kubrick. But when you're a kid and you're watching the credits, you never see when I was a kid, I was born in the 80s. I never really saw a woman's name and as the director ever until Tamara Jenkins, until I saw Slums of Beverly Hills. And that sort of was a game changer for me. Sort of like, a woman could be president, right? Of course.
Exactly right. And we're getting close, to be honest with you. We do have a female vice president. Our president is pretty much a step or two away, and it's getting to be happening too. So
I think so too.
And of course, speaking of all the game-changing directors and movies and everything, who are some of your favorite actors and actresses growing up?
Oh my gosh. Well, Kate Winslet was like the be all end all for any girl that was over a size 2, I think. She was just the most magical. I absolutely was in love with her. And I really, as far as actors are concerned, I have like a really huge crush on Josh Brolin. And so I would watch a lot of his movies as well.
Oh my gosh.
But and Kate Blanchett. And I mean, a lot of the British actors, I have to say. And I did have Leonardo DiCaprio all over my walls.
Wow.
As a teen. It was just his face everywhere, from magazines everywhere.
And a lot as well too. You got some amazing actors and actresses in your movies. You also got Happy Birthday Ray, Hemorrhage, and also Key Question. And we'll talk about Borealis. Did I get that right this time?
Borrelia.
Borrelia. Okay. All right. I can make a little note here. Sometimes the English language is a little deceptive. So we'll talk about
really hard word.
Oh, yeah, that's why it's a tongue twister. Borrelia borealis. We'll talk about it in just 1 minute. We encourage everybody to practice 10 times fast before we put you to the test. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget? Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show. Get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia. Available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and endorsed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forbes Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today for it goes Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com on over 30 podcast platforms. Take us with you on any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram and Twitter today. And for great gift ideas for your loved ones, go to Amazon.com. Check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast or the MikeWagnerShow.com. And for more great gift ideas, t-shirts, pop sockets, phone cases, and more, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check out the great merchandise and it's great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. And don't forget to support us on Anchor FM, support us on PayPal, and also the MikeWagnerShow.com. Make sure you donate generously today. We're here with the amazing, highly regarded, multi-talented writer, actress, director, and filmmaker, Kathryne Easton, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Before we talk about your latest movie, Borrelia Borealis, and more as well, too, you and your husband formed Abhorrent Behavior Productions, which you've won dozens of awards. And tell us how you got how you come up with the name Abhorrent Behavior. Boy, worse than real.
I know how to pick the words, don't I? I started that with my husband because I am a rule breaker. I don't really like following the rules. I don't like doing things the way that I'm told to do them. I don't like doing things the old-fashioned way, the antiquated way. I think there's a lot of problems in our industry just as far as how we make films, how we make content. And, we're hearing a lot about that now with the IATSE strikes and things like that, with the dysfunction of how this industry really is. This industry is built on dysfunction in a lot of ways. And so I take a really different approach to my sets. I like things to be a lot looser. There's a lot of shoulds. Hey, well, in the first act, this is what should happen in order to propel us into the second act. And that stuff to me is so unbelievably boring. So
tell that to Steven Spielberg. I dare you.
I know. So, I mean, not that I was a troublemaker in school. I think I did get sent to the principal's office a few times, but I just imagine this as like...
You'd say a few times? I thought it was several, or was it 10 or 20? I thought it was a few. Is it more than a few for you?
Well, just a few, but they were good, juicy ones when I did get in trouble. I mean, like, I got detention a few times, and it's usually because I was talking back, but again, abhorrent behavior. I imagine it's like the vice principal writing it on the report card. Abhorrent behavior, right? That's me.
I will display abhorrent behavior 100 times. So
it's great, like, because also I think it also stemmed from the fact that making things low budget is very hard if you don't have certain resources or favors. And I really wanted to prove that you don't need a lot of money to do really great things, to do really fun, exciting content. You just really need to have heart and have a really good idea and have wonderful people around you, and really great art can come from that. And you don't need, $50 million. Of course, that would be nice if someone would like to give me 50 million, please. I would love that. But you really don't need it. We overcomplicate these things. I like to simplify the process.
Mm-hmm. And also, how'd you first meet up with Matt Ford when it comes to production before that?
Well, we met in an elevator, and we were actually on a film shoot together, and then the rest is history. He works as an independent cinematographer, and I also, I have had plenty of jobs as a writer, as an actress, as a director in other ways, but this was a way for us to sort of control what gets put out there. We wanted to make movies that we would want to see, and especially now I think the movie industry, I mean, we're coming back after COVID, right? But just seems like it's a lot of studio movies and they are wonderful. But it does feel like, as far as independent film is concerned, as far as festivals and whatnot, it's like you've got your big studio movies and then you've got your Sundance type movies, which are funded by sometimes studios.
Right. So yeah. We don't need to say the word or we risk getting censored. So I know how that goes.
I mean, it's like an independent movie is $20 million or less. And it's like, to me, I'm like, no, that's no. If you have $20 million, that there should be a different category for that. So exactly. I kind of really want to bring back that grassroots, independent spirit for real, in a real way.
And of course, you've also won dozens of awards in the process as well, too. That you also won, dozens of awards, including short films, web series, music videos, and you got also 2 feature films in 2017. You also did Happy Birthday, Ray, Hemorrhage, Key Question, and tell us about those films. And if you got some more you'd like to talk about, feel free to do so.
Lovely. Oh, thank you so much. Well, Hemorrhage and Happy Birthday, Ray, they were each short films, but they also were scripts. So those are my 2 scripts, feature scripts, that made it to the Academy Nickel quarterfinals list, which they usually have around 10,000 submissions a year. And each year they whittle that down to about 300. And then they whittle it down to about 100 and then to about 5. And so if you make it into, that category, which is, tough to do. I'd been trying to do that for a while, and I've made that twice now, into the quarterfinals category. So, a script of 300 of 10,000. But that also ties into the abhorrent behavior thing, honestly, because, again, this industry, wants you to believe that these things matter. I'm not saying they don't. They do. It is really great to be on those lists. But those lists, prestigious as they are very, by the book. You basically read the book on how to write a really great script. And it's sort of paint by numbers and you do it that way. And then you can make these lists, and that's really wonderful. I'm not diminishing that, but a script is not a movie. And that is what I have found out in the past 2 years making 2 actual feature films myself. I had to throw away the book on all of that.
Wow.
And so I made a very different approach, and instead, I know how to write a script. I've sold scripts. I love writing scripts. And it's an art form. But as far as acting in my own material and directing my material at the same time, I needed a different method. And I also really wanted to empower my actors, because that's the thing too. A script, it's not like a novel. You can't say what a character is feeling, what their inner thoughts are. And there's reasons for that. However, as an actor, when you're trying to sell something, when you're trying to be a character, you need all the information you can get, right? Mm-hmm. And so I decided I would write outlines instead. So I would do these really, really long outlines where I would write dialogue in, allow the actors to improv as well if they would like to. Keep it loose, keep it fresh. But I included pictures and references and art pieces so they could really feel and taste what the world looked like, you know?
Oh my goodness.
So
that's a very interesting approach. I've never heard of it. And you're right. It's like, everything done by the book. You got to read your line exactly, or the director is going to fire you, and improv, look at the pictures. I love that approach. That's so amazing. Wow.
Thank you. Yeah, it really, it was kind of a crapshoot. We did the first one in the pandemic, and it was a lot of actors doing Zoom calls because everyone was locked down. And it was really more out of necessity because I just desperately wanted to tell this story. But I also knew that there was a lot more inside of me that wasn't going to necessarily come out. If I were writing it, I was going to need to experience it. And so that is what we did. And so we shot me experiencing it with these actors with a very structured outline. And that's why when you watch the movie, there are moments where you're like, oh boy, that feels a little real there. And it's because it is.
My goodness, that is something. And of course, we talked about Happy Birthday, Ray. You know, also a hemorrhage, key question. Also, too, that you're also, what was it? It's Quarantine with Van and also Abandoned and Good Grief. And, you know, a little more as well, too. Like I said, if you want to throw some more out there to talk about, feel free to do so.
You are so wonderful. Yes. So, let's see. Well, Key Question is actually, I was hired by Legendary Studios to direct that. That's a series that, starred Marisha Ray and Matt Key, who are really big stars in the, Critical Role. I don't know. I'm sure some of your listeners are Critical Role fans. It's a niche. It's like, Dungeons and Dragons, but they have millions upon millions of followers. And so you enter this world where I didn't know that world, but they are beyond celebrities and, like millions of followers. It's very exciting. And so it was very cool to just be able to direct that and also just to get paid to direct and to be hired to direct. And so, and it was really cool to get a paycheck that said Legendary Studios on it. You know, I mean, come on, that's awesome. It was my first experience working with like a really larger crew. And so I felt like it was a really good learning experience and I'm really happy with what we got there. Yeah. So that was on the Alpha Network a couple of years ago. And yeah, we've had we did a web series. It's Food with Vanessa Charbon and it's Quarantine with Vanessa Charbon. And that
okay. All right. I was just trying to read. I should have improvised. Oh my God.
No, it's okay. It's a silly character that I made up that, is like a former beauty queen that just doesn't get it. Maybe she's aging a little bit. Maybe she's a little past her prime. Kind of a bit of a fame whore, needs attention, has a public access show. That's how we motivate it. But the funny thing about
public access. Oh God, that's so 80s public access.
It's so 80s. Yes. And because she got a DUI, that was what she did. That was like how she paid back the county because she comes from a really small town. So she's like a little celebrity, you know, she was Miss Arizona 2004. So she's kind of a big deal in a teeny tiny town in Arizona. So that's how she paid back the county. She gave the people a public access show.
Oh my gosh.
on lifestyle things. But I learned a lot doing that. Using that format because she talks directly to camera. I'm Vanessa, by the way.
Okay, Vanessa.
She talks directly to the camera, like in a confessional style, sort of like The Office. But then it's like commenting on the action that's happening where it's like, oh, she's going to do an at-home spa day or she's going to bake a creme brulee or she's going to, you know, it's educational, right?
And yes.
Using that format actually is what catapulted me into the idea of doing Borrelia Borealis as a film, because we needed a way to motivate telling the story with just me, because there was no one in our apartment. There was because of the pandemic, it was pre-vaccine. No one could come over. So of course you don't want to make a 90-minute movie of just Zoom calls. So there are Zoom calls in the movie and they comment on things, but they're few and far between. Not few and far between, but it's not you're not looking at a Zoom screen the entire time. It's shot very cinematically. And so we had a very lovely cinema camera with my cinematographer husband, and he was able to really get some beautiful, gorgeous shots, celestial things. It's about astral projection. So it's like we've got some laser light shows. Honestly, Mike, I think I haven't done it, but I do think it would be a fun movie to just like go. And if you do enjoy a little edible here and there, it would be a fun movie to do that with.
Oh my gosh, that'd be something. We'll talk more about Borrelia Borealis in just 1 minute, along with what's coming up. You listen to The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, The Mike Wagner Show, international war-wearing author Mia Molson's The of Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. And check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com. We'll be back with the amazing, multi-talented writer, actress, director, filmmaker, Kathryne Easton, after this timeout.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley and I'm an American actress and a TV host, and I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. You know, it talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamoshenzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Hey, this is Ray Powers, and boy, are you in luck. Right place, right time. Tuned in to the Mike Wagner Show. You heard me.
We're back with the highly regarded writer, actress, director, filmmaker, Kathryne Easton of Borella Borealis here on the Mike Wagner Show. And it's been a well-received film, by the way. And, tell us more about Borella Borealis. And, it was shot during the pandemic and also just has some issues as well, too. And, tell us more about that. It sounds like an amazing film.
Thank you so much, Mike. You're so kind and sweet. Thank you.
I try.
Oh, you do. I appreciate it. Well, it came about. I didn't plan it. Like most things in my life, I feel like I'm a planner and I write for years and, we'll do this script. And, life happens. And I was diagnosed with Lyme disease in January of 2020. And then the pandemic, March of 2020 happened. And it was revealed to me that I had Lyme disease for 25 years and it went undiagnosed. Wow. Yeah. And so I was really going through it just because I had all these mysterious things that were happening and I was ill. I was very ill. I had a lot of inflammation in my body, had a lot of brain fog. I was in pain. There were just so many things that weren't explained. And so I was really angry and really confused, just by that entire situation. And I needed to put it into something positive, which for me is always art. Art is a really great way for me to be able to express myself. And I know there's also a lot of people out there that have autoimmune problems. Even you can include long COVID with that now. There's a lot of similarities with the extra things, the symptoms that you have. And so that's when I wrote the outline. And I just reached out to every wonderful actor that I knew and asked if they would work for basically nothing, and call in. And I asked one of my very responsible friends, who's a wonderful actress, Maya Reeves, to play my doctor. And she's so good in this movie. People thought she was an actual doctor.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, is that your doctor? You're real? I'm like, no, she's a wonderful actress.
Yes, I do. I am a doctor. I do play one on TV. Thank you very much.
I do play one on TV. And then the wonderful Anthony Goes, who plays my love interest in this movie, who's just a very, very dear friend of mine. He would shoot, at night after he put his baby to bed. I had a baby at home and, he's working all day. And then he would, at night he would come in for a few hours and we would shoot our little lovey-dovey scenes. And what I didn't realize at the time was I thought I was making a movie about, Lyme disease and what it, because a lot of people don't understand Lyme disease. And there's plenty of people that don't really even think it's a thing, or just, take an antibiotic, you'll be fine, you'll be better. And it can manifest into many other things like MS, Parkinson's. It can kill you. And you have to just really take good care of yourself. And so I wanted to talk a lot about that, but then it ended up sort of being de facto therapy in a way, because also here we are, we're all shut down in this pandemic. We can't really see people. We can't talk to people. And so a lot of the conversations that we would end up having that we got on camera, were just things that were really important to me at the time. I was sorting through a lot of past issues, trauma, which there's a huge trauma tie-in with Lyme disease. Mm-hmm. And I really think it's important that we talk about that. And I'd never seen a film like that. So I basically just let myself be the canvas, which was really scary. I don't necessarily recommend it. And it sounds so corny. But when you're watching the movie, you're experiencing me get well and come back into my body after 25 years.
And of course, that's where astral projection comes in.
Yes. And so there's this fun tie-in where, I was thinking, all right, in the pandemic, let's say you're in love with someone and you can't see them because they live across the country and you can't travel because of, all the travel restrictions. How do you see people? Astral projection, which is a form of meditation. And it's a little bit, it's a little woo-woo. I did a lot of research into this, but that feeling when you're falling asleep and you're almost asleep and then you kind of jolt out and you feel like you're falling. Mm-hmm. That is what they say is like the beginnings of astral projection. Because when you, so when you fall asleep, and your conscious is sort of, it's resting, your body is resting. When you're dreaming, it's said that your mind, your consciousness leaves your body and goes and plays in other astral realms. And that's what dreaming is. And if you meditate, this is something you can achieve. Now, I have tried this and I have not achieved that, but I do know what it's like to dream. I know what dreams are like, fantastical dreams. And so that's what I was trying to sort of create too, because we shot this movie in a 1-bedroom apartment. Oh, wow. And you wouldn't know it. We decorated every single wall differently. And we shot every single crevice you could think of, this little corner, that little corner. But because we have this device of going to the astral realm to see the person that you love, it sort of becomes a bit like a laser light show disco dance party with just beautiful lights and it's rainbows. And it's just, my husband is a very, very talented cinematographer and knows what he's doing with lighting. And so when we premiered it at LA Live a couple of weeks ago at the La Femme Film Festival, and I was really worried to see it all up on the big screen because I was like, oh no, my little Zoom movie, was this going to translate? And it was just so much fun. It did, so, and that's a testament to my husband, the wonderful cinematographer. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so amazing. You talked about earlier when you're dreaming, all of a sudden you wake up. I seem to have these dreams where I have something like that. It feels like it fell like, 3, 5, 7, 10 stories. You wake up, it's like, oh my gosh, you think you're falling. And I think to myself, either something's about to happen or you had too much pizza. It's one of the two. So.
It's one of the two. It's serious. It's usually, it could be both, honestly, Mike.
Mm-hmm. And I've had happened before too. So word to the wise. Never eat pizza before you go to bed. And you don't have to have those dreams. So
exactly. No. Yeah. Highly recommend.
Okay. And of course, where can we find Borrelia Borealis at?
Well, we got a distribution deal and it is being distributed through Freestyle Media. And we are going to be released on January 18th. Nice. So just in a couple of months. And so it'll be on VOD streaming platforms. And so do a little Roku search, a little Apple search, it'll pop up and you'll be able to rent it or buy it. So I'm really proud of it. And I really, I stand by it and I'm really excited to be able to show it to people because we also have a lot of really fun music in there. And it's just, I think it's a testament to, independent filmmaking in general. And I hope that young people can watch it and be inspired and say, okay, all you need maybe is $1,000 and a toothpick and a Q-tip and some Scotch tape and you can do it. You can do it. That's all you need. MacGyver it.
Yeah, MacGyver it. I was just going to say that was my favorite movies. I actually picked up some of that stuff. And I think they said a thing about gum explained all these ingredients and that's what's used to do this, do that. Never use it. For that. It's like, I feel like I was going to science class and here he is.
Yeah.
Ex-hockey player. It's like, what does he know about it? And it's like, I give credit to him and I use it to for all kinds of things. I mean, who needs to go to a hardware store? You can use just chewing gum.
Just gum. Yeah, you can hold. Yeah, absolutely. That's my, just how I look at life is just MacGyver it. Just MacGyver it. You'll be fine.
There you go. And of course, speaking of your movie Borrelia Borealis as well too. And where else can we find your other movies like Happy Birthday Ray, Hemorrhage, Key Questions, and where can we find all your other works at?
Well, so Key Questions should be up on YouTube. That was originally on the Alpha Network, but the Alpha Network is no more. So I believe it's up on YouTube. And the others are short films. Those are not features. So the short films are on Vimeo, on YouTube. You can find them. They're, they're good little pieces to, we talk about like the origins of filmmakers, like interesting to watch to see where we started and where we're at now. It takes a while. It does. It takes a long time, but
okay.
I feel, yeah.
All right, sounds very good. Well, check those out. We're here with Kathryne Easton, Borrelia Borealis here on the Mike Wagner Show, the very talented, highly regarded, award-winning writer, actress, director, and filmmaker as well, too. And just a few more minutes here. We'd love to have you back in 2022 and beyond. And you also just wrapped up another feature as well, too. And tell us more about that.
Because I lost my mind and thought, while I'm trying to sell my first movie, I'll make another one. But I had to. Mm-hmm. So Valley Heart it's totally different from Borrelia. It uses a lot of the same cast members and some really wonderful new cast members. But it's about my experience in Los Angeles as an actress. I really am obsessed with the movie Chinatown, which is a Roman Polanski movie.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my gosh, what a classic.
Yeah. It's so good. And they touch on the history of Los Angeles and how corrupt it is. And it really is. And arguably a lot of America is corrupt, but Los Angeles in particular is sort of a city that is built on a lot of broken promises and a lot of, just lies and crime. And, there's a lot of people that live in that city, and there's a lot of dreams that live in that city. And my experience with it has been more in particular in the Valley. And in the past year or so, I was assaulted twice. I was nearly mugged twice.
Oh, no.
No, it's okay. You live, you learn. But I had it made me start contemplating the things I had given up on the way to the dream, right? And how Los Angeles changes your brain fundamentally. When you leave Los Angeles after you've lived here for a while, you feel weird. You don't feel like you really belong anywhere else. You go and you can enjoy places, but the way that this city sort of messes with your brain and the way that, Hollywood, is really insidious and really frightening. And so I was sort of looking around my neighborhood going man, I don't know. There's some shanty towns here now. We got a lot of tents and, we have, maybe some criminal activity going on, that's very obvious. And I was fascinated by it. And so I wanted to really write about, what have the last 10 years what have I learned in the past 10 years? I've technically lived in Los Angeles about 13 years. Mm-hmm. You win things, you lose things, you have love, you lose love. And it's all in this pursuit of this dream of being in the movies, and everyone's got a story. And so that's where it sort of started for me. And so it's a crime thriller, it's loosely based on a few things I've maybe have or have not experienced or witnessed, possibly in my own apartment building. Again, I live in the Valley. A lot happens there. And so this time we had a little bit more of a budget. And so we were able to fly out some of our favorite actors, and it was a much more structured script, but still allowed for improv. And it is very To Live and Die in LA, Chinatown, like you said, All the President's Men, that is the vibe.
That is
Paranoid.
Amazing. So looking forward to it. And when can we expect Valley Heart to come out?
Oh, I hope at some point next year. We are in the middle of post-production right now, but we're already talking to distribution companies, and we are pushing for a theatrical run because it is a theatrical film and it deserves a big screen.
Oh, it sounds like it too. I can't wait. And what else can you expect from you in 2022 and beyond besides Valley?
Wow, this is so exciting. Thank you for asking. I'm currently working on an elevated horror film right now called Sacred Feminine. I say elevated horror because it's not like a slasher movie. It's not, it's not Friday the 13th. Although I love
Freddy.
I love those movies. But I'm setting out to make something a little more, along the lines of, Midsommar, or The Shining. Mm-hmm. More like that.
Johnny.
Exactly. A little more, existential horror, slow burn. That's what I love. And that's the stuff that I think is really scary. And that is about feminine power, Mike. It's about feminine power and how much of it we have and how much of it we don't use.
That's rather interesting. We're so looking forward to it. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
Oh, the biggest influence in my career. Wow. That is a really, really interesting question. I would have to say, I've got a couple. Can I name a couple?
You sure can. You can do a few. You can do several. How many you like?
Okay. I have to say my dad, even though he had nothing to do with the film industry at all. But he never gave up on what he wanted to do. He was a professor at Syracuse University. He's the hardest worker on the planet and gave me my work ethic and to not accept no as an answer when someone says, when someone shuts a door in your face. So I feel like I learned a lot just by way of like my grit and my my inability to be like, all right, no, we're going to keep going. We may be down, but we're not out, right? Cause you got to have that kind of spirit out here. And as far as like my heroes are concerned, I do love me a multi-hyphenate. So, the Ben Afflecks of the world, the Matt Damons of the world, Jennifer Westfeldt, who directed Kissing Jessica Stein. It's people like that are able to say, all right, yeah, I'm writing this. I directed it. I'm acting in it. They want to say that's impossible. It's not. And I think it's in many ways gives you a more singular voice, when telling a story, which I think can be very interesting.
That is very interesting. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Anybody who's pursuing filmmaking?
It can be anything in general.
Anything in general? Do no harm, but take no shit.
I like that. Straight and to the point. I love it. And I'm going to apply to that.
It's a good credo.
And I know what to do with the shit they say. So
exactly.
That is very impressive. We're here with the highly regarded and amazing multi-talented writer, actress, director, filmmaker, Kathryne Easton, and her latest release, Borrelia Borealis, here on the Mike Wagner Show. Kathryne, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Looking forward to having you again soon. And make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Looking forward to having you on again. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact you, where can people purchase or check out your works?
Yay. Thank you so much. Well, you can find me on IMDb under Kathryne Isabella Easton. My Instagram handle is at Kathryne Isabel, and I'm going to spell it because I have a really weird spelling. It's at KATHRYNEISABELLE. Yes, I have lots of long names going on with everything. And Borrelia Borealis will be out January 18th on VOD streaming platforms.
We certainly will check it out. Once again, Kathryne, a very big thank you for your time. You've been totally amazing. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Looking forward to having you on next year. And we wish you all the best. You've got a great future ahead of you.
Oh, thank you so much, friend. I really appreciate it.
The Mike Wagner Show is powered by Sonic Web Studios. If you're looking to start or upgrade your online presence, visit www.sonicwebstudios.com for all of your online needs. Call 1-800-303-3960 or visit us online at www.sonicwebstudios.com to get started today. Mention the Mike Wagner Show and get 20% off your project. Sonic Web Studios. Take your image to the next level.
Hey everybody, my name is Forbes Riley, and I'm an American actress and a TV host. And I was delighted when I got my copy of Missing, which is Extraordinary Relation of Ordinary People based on a real life relationship. It's well written. It's amazing. It talks about a man who has lost his wife and his daughter, and it's very well done. I'm going to highly recommend that you go get your copy of Missing. It is a powerful, exciting read. Mr. Mian Moshe Zia. He is the author of Missing. And I want to give a big shout out and a kiss all the way halfway around the world to my dear friend. Check him out at Mia's website. It's called www.miamotionzea.com. Missing. Available on Amazon. Again, I'm Forbes Riley, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to The Mike Wagner Show, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at sonicwebstudios.com for all your needs. The Mike Wagner Show can be heard on Spreaker, Spotify, iHeartRadio, iTunes, YouTube, Anchor FM, Radio Public, and themikewagnershow.com. Please support our program with your donations at themikewagnershow.com. Join us again next time for another great episode of The Mike Wagner Show.